Hartlich gewinnen. Ich hatte nicht, Sheikh hat, Tzedek Tzedek Stocky with Stocky. Sibri Chazir is repeated twice. Tzedek Tirlai, because it said Tzedek Tirlai. By being clear, which means Tzedek Tirlai. What's Tzedek Tirlai? Yushalmi says that the Yonim, when they listen to the entire Yushalmi says that the Balei Dinim, they have to repeat their tightness, their whatever they have, they base their case on, their complaint, their tiny, they have to repeat it once. They present their side of the story, and then they have to repeat it a second time. They have to repeat it twice. By Shlomo HaMelech, it says, Bikesh koheles liyos k'Moshe. Shlomo HaMelech, he wanted to, when he listened to the Teiris, they came from a controversy, so he wanted to conduct himself like Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu used to, like say in Pasuk, that he himself, he would sit and listen to the Teiris all alone. So he wanted to be like Moshe Rabbeinu. He wanted to sit, he wanted to undertake to listen to the Teiris, be a dayan all himself. So some Persian mask, the Don Yechidi, the only Rabbi Shalom, the only one. Moshe was a different story. Moshe Rabbeinu had Rabbi Shalom with him. So how did he want? Let's say again, he wants to be a Dan Yechidi, Shlomo HaMelech. So the Mepharshim say that they teach, they explain that the situation, the Teiris, that always came before Koheles, before Shlomo HaMelech, it wasn't that he rendered a psak, he adjudicated, he got a psak din. There was always Hoidois Baldin. The one who was wrong would always admit, he would admit that his side, what the true story was. Hoidois Baldin Kamer Eidim. It's like one, so that was enough. So they asked Sakashi, if that happened to be the case, that he always had Hoidois Baldin, so then anybody could, you don't have to have a Shlomo HaMelech, anybody should have Hoidois Baldin, that itself doesn't. So the same pshat is like this here. That was the chochmeh of Shlomo HaMelech. That not that the Balei Dinim themselves were already prepared to confess and tell the truth, the way the story is. Shlomo HaMelech, with his chochmeh, like the Shami says, tzedek, he made them repeat their side of the story once and twice, and maybe more than twice. So from the tightness itself, the way they presented the case, that from that itself, he was able to bring it, he was able to he could get a hoidoi. The very famous case by Shlomo HaMelech, when two mothers came to him with a live child. They both were together in the same room, and they went to sleep at night with each one had a live child. In the morning they awoke with one had a dead child, one had a live child. So there was a whole between them. There was the whole controversy as to whose child was the live one. Who did it belong to? One said, Bnei Achai, Bnei Chames, the live one is mine, and the dead one is yours. The other one said, Bnei Chames, Bnei Achai. The dead one is yours, and the live one is mine. So, what Shlomo HaMelech, what he done, seemingly, to test them, to see who's telling the truth and who's not. So he said, all right, he said, we can't decide we don't know, we weren't in the room at the time, so we don't know which child was laying, that child was laying by this mother, and which live on the other mother. He said, we'll take the live child, and we'll cut it in half and give each one a happy child. So one mother came forward, no, she said, no, better than I would like anything, my child. I won't have my live child, give him my child, so the child should, at least the child remain alive, give it to the other one. Shlomo HaMelech said that this one is the true mother. So Malbim says there was more to it. It wasn't just because she came forward and she said, Mr. Mami wants her child to remain alive. Like we say, by the entire, and when somebody comes to rub with a shaila on a chicken, the chicken is kosher or treif, so Rabbi looks at the chicken, and and he renders a psak. He tells them whether the chicken is kosher or not. And he tells them the chicken is treif. They don't make a gewalt, there's no tinus. They take the chicken, give it to boy or throw it in the garbage, and that's it. But was the entire between two people, one is chayiv and one is zakai, one wins and one loses. They all have all kind of ties to the diners and Almoras. He got sheikhad, he was bribed. It wasn't a fair dinner. What was the difference? The difference is like this here, that by a chicken, if the chicken is treif, nobody has anything from it. I paid for the chicken, but here the fact that not only that I lose money, but somebody else gained from it, that's kenish farginen. That's difficult to live with. So the one who had the dead child, she can't have a live child, so she was willing maybe to have the child cut up, as long as the other one doesn't have a live child. But this one, but there was more to it than that. The mom says that Shlomo HaMelech, he listened carefully to exactly the way they presented their case. He said, what by a person, what's most important to him, he always that's the first statement that he makes. The way they stated it is, one of them said b'ni hachai or b'nei chames. They mentioned first a live child. So that Shlomo HaMelech understood from this that the important thing is that the child should be alive. B'ni hachai. Not that she's worried about that somebody else is going to have her alive child should have a dead one. The main thing, the child should be alive. The other one stated the other way around. B'nei chames u'b'nei achai. She couldn't have peace with the idea that she just had a live child and the child is dead, and the other one has a live child. So b'nei chames, she wanted the other one should have a dead child. From the tzedek tirdai, from making them repeat the tinus from this, Shlomo HaMelech knew which one is the right one, which one is the real mother, which one is not. Chanai b'akash oimer, Ratzah HaKadosh Baruch Hu zakesh es Yisrael, v'tikach him l'm teiro mitzvahs, shenemar adonai